More from Mark Willis on Road Dog Trucking News.
Hey drivers, want to welcome you back. And of course, a lot of folks talking about the election that was held on Tuesday. Everybody knows, of course, that Donald Trump is going to be taking the White House in January. He is going to be going into the Oval Office to start his term as the nation voted on Tuesday. It was a late night for many, many folks watching all the returns coming in, and this is leading to a number of different industries that are commenting on just what the administration is going to be doing as it first gets going. And on board, it's great to have energy expert Rey Trevino on the line with us. And Ray, I had you on about 3 weeks ago, and we were just kind of thinking about, okay, what if there is indeed a change in administration leadership, and there is now. What do you think Mr. Trump's first job is going to be when he gets into Oval Office as far as the energy industry goes? What do you think, sir? Welcome.
Well, yes, thank you for having me back. And really, I think the first thing he's probably going to work on is the offshore drilling permits. Hopefully getting us back on board to have more offshore permits so we can drill more oil and really, more importantly, produce more oil, and hopefully get rid of that LNG permit ban as well.
Well, and this is going to really, I think, open up a lot of discussion about the one of the phrases used during the course of the campaign, and that was drill, baby, drill. Opening it up and, maybe going back to what was going on before when he was in the Oval Office the first time. Is that going to be an easy thing to do right out of the gate? Drill, baby, drill. And the other side of that, how would that affect the prices at the pumps? Thinking diesel, unleaded, the staples that we've got out there.
Yes, I do think in some ways it is going to be very easy. I think what we're going to see now is a more of an influx in investor money coming into the oil and gas space to actually drill, baby, drill, where investors are feeling more comfortable with investing in oil and gas production. And I think that will help us to get back online as far as drilling more wells. If you go back and look during the Trump presidency, oil prices were somewhere between basically $65 and $75 the entire time. And as we spoke about just 3 weeks ago, the market was already kind of showing that. It was already kind of shifting like they were expecting a Trump victory. So as of today, less than 48 hours into the news that President Trump will be president again, we haven't seen a real big shift of the price of oil. Now, to answer your second question, I do see that the price of gasoline should probably come down a little bit more, and that'll be just due to the fact that we will get more supply here as we continue.
When you mention we will get more supply, does that mean that we're going to be seeing more imports coming in, or will we slow the export market down, keep more of it at home, so to speak? What do you think?
That's a very good question. Yeah. Right now, we are actually producing more oil than OPEC is. And so, we're doing a very good job. Also, we are exporting the most liquid natural gas of any other country. We are basically the Saudi Arabia of liquid natural gas. So, what I mean by adding production, what we'll do is add more barrels. Then that will hopefully help fill up the reserve, or at least add to the reserve. But also the more production means that the refineries will get more. And obviously supply goes up means demand prices go down. But we'll have more refined products, meaning the diesel and unleaded, to actually help bring the price of gasoline down again.
Interesting, when I was watching the election coverage the other night, I was watching the victory speech of Texas Senator Ted Cruz. He was in a very heated debate, or battle, I should say, at the polls with Colin Allred. Texas Senator Cruz did win, and one of the main emphasized points that he made is that he was stressing that Texas is going to be going back to its roots. In other words, going to the Permian Basin for more drilling activity, more jobs created, more trucking jobs coming out of that scenario there. So is the Permian Basin, in your estimation, is it the global gem that can keep the United States pretty much energy independent and not rely on foreign governments for oil?
Yes. First of all, God bless West Texas. God bless all of Texas, right? I literally just had lunch today with some individuals that have been in Midland for the last 2 days. And I said, how is Midland feeling? How are they doing? And they literally said, with no hesitation, oh, my God, it's like Midland just won the Super Bowl.
Oh,
okay?
Wow. Yep.
We're very excited. Now, as I've said before, is, America as a whole, right now, we are keeping oil prices as low as they are. The oil and gas industry is fighting inflation. We're producing 13 million barrels a day, while OPEC is producing 9 million. That means that we have an additional, 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 million barrels that we're producing to keep the cost of oil down as low as it is. Because if we were producing anything less, the price would be more. And the Permian Basin is God's gift to everything that we've done here, and it really helps fight to keep the price down. So, yes, I do think that we will see more drilling in the Permian, especially in the heart of the Permian, and we're going to see some great things happening to really continue to combat inflation.
Yeah, that's going to be another consideration there, right? When you look at the inflation numbers at one point, what were they, 9%? Now it's down about 2 or 3, something in that neighborhood there. Does the inflation cycle have any effect as far as the cost for drilling activity is concerned? Does that come up at all, inflation factor into any of that for the exploration side?
Yes, absolutely. One thing I've been telling individuals lately is that our $70 oil that we're at today is almost like $100 oil, 5 and 6 years ago. The costs have gone up as if we're at $100 oil today. And, that's due to the inflation. I mean, we still have to truck in the steel. We still got to make the product. And since inflation's gone up, everything else has gone up. So, yes, that's a good question.
When you look at this overall as far as the new energy administration, as Mr. Trump goes into office, he's going to be looking at maybe reversing some of the other policies from the previous administration. Everybody knows the story about the electric vehicle marketplace, the emphasis on just getting rid of fossil fuels altogether out there. Do you think that this might, with a change in administration leadership, that this might maybe change the dynamic of the EV marketplace? Less emphasis on that and back to diesel or unleaded.
If there's any less emphasis, it would be in the tax subsidies that come with the oil, with electric vehicles and the wind, meaning the government would be giving out less. And so maybe so there. However, no, I don't see it as a whole affecting the EV market. If people like having their electric vehicles, they're going to continue to pay the extreme cost for the electric vehicles. Nobody's going to stop them from that.
The other side of that, with the electric vehicle marketplace, you got to talk about the charging infrastructure. You've got to talk about, what happens in a colder weather with the EV charging. Heard those things don't work too well when it's about 10 degrees or 20 degrees out there. So this should really, I think, give a lot of folks more confidence in knowing that the traditional vehicles you and I have grown up with the unleaded, traditional, diesel, pickup trucks, things like that, it's a market that's here to stay. It's not going to go anywhere anytime soon, right?
That's correct. I am not against electric vehicles. I'm not against wind-powered vehicles. I mean, heck, we were using wind-powered, ships since the beginning of time, and that's what
Right.
moved us across the world. What I am against is dictating the market and having the government dictate the market. Let capitalism dictate the market and go where it needs to go. And that's really the best thing that I can say about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're not driving one of those EVs, are you?
Oh, no. But I do have a very fuel-efficient diesel, so go figure.
There you go. Absolutely. If you were saying that when you're driving your electric whatever, I'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah. So you're true to your word. You hold on to the word there, man. That's great. All right, Ray, we got to break for a few minutes, and stay tuned. We got to do this short commercial interlude. And if you want to join us, ladies and gentlemen, the policies are going to be changing with the incoming administration. Maybe less emphasis on towards the environmental side and more towards the traditional fuels that you and I know. That's the oil and gas industry. Come join us. We're going to be back in a few right here on Sirius XM 146. Paris. Hey, drivers. Yeah, want to welcome you back. And energy expert Rey Trevino is on with us. Ray, and again, thanks very much for joining me on the program. Let's get your websites out, sir. Where can folks find you?
Yes, thank you. People can find us for anything in the oil and gas industry at pecosoperating.com. And there they can also get the link to my podcast, thecrudetruth.com, where I talk to additional energy experts to kind of get the ear on the ground on what's going on.
All right. And what is going on? Are you confident, comfortable about the future on the energy side? Drilling, exploration, research, more oil coming to the marketplace, changing of the guard at the White House. Are you feeling more confident these days as compared to like a month or so ago?
We really are, again, and the real reason why is, and I just want to say this to everybody out there on why we're more confident. 4 years ago, we had a man and a woman running for president that said they were going to kill the line of work that I am in. And, they wanted to end fossil fuels. So for all your drivers out there, my product goes into their product, which then all of Americans get all the products that they're carrying. So when I say that I'm hopeful, that is a personal thing. I am very hopeful because I don't have a man now trying to end my career in the energy sector. But from that now, from the other standpoint is oil and gas isn't going away, okay? And no matter who is going to be president, I knew I was going to be able to produce oil for the American people on Wednesday morning. And that is what I am proud to do, So I do think it's going to be less stringent now to actually drill wells. You kind of talk about the regulations and maybe undoing some. So maybe we undo that LNG export ban of new facilities, and hopefully we, remove the regulations, not the regulations, but the ban on some of the offshore drilling. Here in the great state of Texas, we have some of the most stringent laws and regulations to keep oil and gas as clean as possible while drilling, completing, and producing oil wells. So, I have no problem with that, continuing that, but hopefully this will open us up for more production.
Yeah, and with those additional production elements you're mentioning, that means more jobs, right? Creating money for Main Street, in other words.
Yes, absolutely. It's a trickle-down effect. The more rigs we can get back out there, that means the more hands we're going to have back out there, which means the more trucks are going to be moving supplies from point A to point B, which means then we're going to need more people to work at the restaurants in the towns to help all those individuals, which means we're going to need more housing, which then means that we're going to have more contractors having jobs. So it's just such a trickle-down effect that we could really use another 50 to 100 rigs moving every day. And with modern technology and drilling, just with the modern technology, we would really ramp up production pretty dramatically.
No, absolutely. And, it's not going away, like you mentioned, the oil and the gas industry. What was amazing to me, and I know there's a business logic behind it, that the OEMs on the trucking side have invested hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars into these electric vehicles and short range. I know there's a problem with the lack of infrastructure like charging and a whole lot more. I'm just kind of it's staggering when you think about the OEMs and what they've done. I know they're operating under government mandates, like in California, to make that transition. But still, though, you think about the money that has been spent on the EV side that could indeed be changing as the new administration goes in. Sir, thank you very, very much for joining me on the show. And Rey Trevino is on, energy expert. Want to get his thoughts on the incoming Trump administration and where he sees the energy sector going forward. Rey, one more time, where can folks go? Find you up on the web. Where can I go?
Yes, PecosOperating.com and on YouTube at The Crude Truth.
Okay, very good, man. Thanks for doing it. Appreciate you offering the insights into the changes that may be coming when it comes to the energy sector. You think about what the trucking industry has its roots in, the DNA. It's in the fuel, the unleaded, the diesel. Many of you operate pickup trucks. I mean, it's all about that liquid gold, if you will, what's coming out of the pump there. And I think we're going to see some big changes going on. A lot of the folks from the previous administration had stated that it's designed to go more of an environmentally friendly type of a situation, less pollutants in the air. CARB has built a platform on that. And President Trump has said it's the green new scam is the way he called it. So I'm looking for probably some big changes on the environmental side, probably right out of the gate when the new president takes over in January.